Hello, my name is Neil Dixon, and today, with the help of my friends, we'd like to share with you how England approaches sports and leisure. But before moving forward, we'd like to give you a little general background information on the country. England is located just east of the United States, just across the pond, also known as the Atlantic Ocean. It is north of France, south of Scotland, east of Ireland, and west of Germany. They have a population of 53,012,456 people, with the overwhelming majority being Caucasian at 85.4%, followed by Asians at 7.8, blacks at 3.5, mixed at 2.3, Arabs at zero point 0.4, and rounding out other at 0.6. Their national language is English. The capital city is London, and it is as well its largest city. Now, the geographical landscape of England consists of mostly hills and plains, with uplands in the northern region. Its governmental construct is a combination of both a constitutional monarchy and a parliamentary system. Now, a constitutional monarchy is that of a figurehead. It is a royal family that is constricted by constitutional restraints, with no real legislative power. And the parliamentary system is that of a democracy, much like ours in the United States, where in ours, a president is elected, and in a parliamentary system, a prime minister is elected. The difference being a prime minister who is the executive branch, just as the president of the United States is the executive branch, where the president is separated from legislative. In the parliamentary system, the prime minister works closely and is a part of both the executive and legislative branch.
The most popular sport in England is soccer, which started in London in 1863. England is the home of the oldest football clubs in the world, dating all the way back to at least 1857. The world's oldest competition, the FA Cup, which was founded in 1871, and it is home to the first ever football league, which started in 1888. For these reasons, England is considered the cradle of the game of football. The two main cup competitions in England are the FA Cup and the Capital One Cup, which is for the 92 professional clubs in four main professional divisions only. The most popular teams are Arsenal, Manchester United, Chelsea, and Liverpool. Manchester United is the most famous of the four teams. It has won 20 league titles, the most of any English club, a joint record 11 FA Cups, 4 League Cups, and 1 FIFA World Cup. As far as sponsorship goes, for each of the four major teams, it has their own sponsor. Arsenal is sponsored by Puma, which net worth is $34 million. Manchester United is sponsored by Adidas, which has the most sponsored money, which is net worth is $70 million. Liverpool was $25 million and is sponsored by New Balance. And Chelsea is also sponsored by Adidas, but net worth is only $30 million.
So the role of government in soccer in England is very limited. Mostly in pro soccer, government is not present. That is because most of the pro teams are privately owned and privately funded. These pro teams are mostly being funded by a corporate sponsor of some sort that they receive. So the government really has no role in the development of soccer in England. Soccer in England is played pretty much by everybody. Doesn't matter what race you are, if you're a woman, children, men, black, or white, you can play soccer. A recent statistic from BBC said that 1.9 million people play soccer weekly. But recently, participation has gone down weekly because of new sports arriving, such as rugby or swimming. It's gone down 11.76% since last year. But women have a huge opportunity to compete in soccer in England. Soccer is very diverse, as I said earlier. Anyone and everyone can play. England also has a women's national team, which is currently ranked 6th in the world, thanks to Nettie Honeyball, the woman who first formed a women's team. That really sparked the rise of women's participation in soccer. As soccer players age, they tend to be more of a spectator than a player. But I searched and found that the youngest player to play in the Premier League was Ruben Noble Lazarus, who was 15 years old. Also, the oldest player to ever play in the Premier League was Neil McBain, who was 51. Age isn't necessarily a restriction to play soccer. You can be as old as you want to, but I feel as if the older you get, the less competitive you play, just because of how your body works. Also, soccer is also something that these people have in their lives, the only thing they have in their lives. So they'll still stay around there the whole life pretty much, and even if it's just watching or just playing it.
So as far as education in soccer goes in England, they have what's called the England Schools Football Association, and it provides opportunities for young kids and students to play at a higher level and represent their schools. And they play in tournaments all around the country. At the end of these tournaments, they'll have a championship game that's usually held in a major professional stadium. There is an opportunity to play for a national team for these students, and the teams are called the England Schoolboys and Schoolgirls. And the way to get on these teams is the county schools will nominate their best players to go to tryouts for the national teams. And at the end of these tryouts, they pick the best players and they get to go play for these teams. They're not affiliated with any professional football teams or their youth academies, so it's just a bunch of amateur athletes who want to keep play soccer at a higher level. The national team in England is called the Three Lions, and some of their major achievements, they played their first international game in 1872 against Scotland, and it played out to a 0-0 draw. It was actually the first international match between countries. They play their home games at Wembley Stadium in London. The original Wembley Stadium was built in 1923 and it closed in 2000, and then they built a new Wembley Stadium which opened in 2007. They've played in every World Cup since 1950, and they actually won it in 1966 when they hosted it. The only World Cup since 1950 they haven't qualified for was in 1994 when the United States hosted it. They've played in 8 European Championships, and their best finish was third in 1968 and also in 1996 when they tied for third and lost in the semifinals. Some of the record holders for the national team, the most appearances is by a guy named Peter Shilton. He was a goalie from 1970 to 1990. He played 125 times for England. And the current, the most active leader in appearances is Wayne Rooney, who's the captain of the team now. He has 103 appearances. The most goals is a guy named Bobby Charlton, who played from 1958 to 1970. He has 49 goals for England. And the active leading goal scorer for England is also Wayne Rooney, who's been around since 2003, and he has 47 goals. So here in the near future, he should pass Bobby Charlton as the greatest goal scorer for England of all time. So that's the end of our presentation. I just want to thank you for your time.